Well, following that webinar, I had the chance to speak to Kai Draeger, who is Senior Global Counsel at TDK. Kai, welcome.
Hi, James.
Thank you for joining us. I guess the first place to start is you are a German qualified lawyer and you're working for a huge Japanese business over in Tokyo. So can you give us a bit of your background? How did a German qualified lawyer come to be one of two senior counsel at TDK?
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Yeah, that's an interesting question, and I think so. Actually, I started my career here in Japan as a foreign attorney at a large American law firm in 2007. After doing some research here at the university, and so in between, I was back to Germany, and in Germany, I continued working for a law firm, and then I changed in-house to TDK subsidiary in Munich. And in 2018, I was asked to come here to the TDK headquarters legal department to reinforce the department and to internationalize here a bit more. And as you have to know that TDK is quite a large company with 100,000 people worldwide. And I think 90% is non-Japanese. And here, Tokyo, we have the headquarters. And so I'm here to internationalize here a bit more.
That's interesting because, yeah, I guess most people think of TDK as a primarily Japanese business, which obviously is. It's headquartered there, but you're saying only 10,000 of the 100,000 staff are actually Japanese, so it's effectively an international business.
That's right, and TDK had a very happy hand with M&A acquisitions of company groups globally. So, and I'm also coming from one group which was Epcos, called before it was a former Siemens company, and which was acquired by TDK also in 2008.
Okay, excellent. I guess one thing that people might be interested to hear is about the structure of legal teams in Japan in general. It's not widely known to people who don't live in Japan how Japanese businesses operate. So can you tell us a little bit, first of all, about the structure of the TDK legal team, and then also your perceptions of in-house life in Japan?
Yeah, I think TDK has a very traditional structure of a legal team in Japan, which is mainly staffed by non-lawyers, but people who have a legal degree from university and very skilled also in doing legal routine work and managing company business. So they're very close connected to the commercial aspects here. And TDK currently we have two lawyers, one Bengoshi, a Japanese Bengoshi, and me as a German attorney at law. Rechtsanwalt is the German name for that.
Okay, it's a very legal team.
Yes. Say again?
A very small knit legal team for such a large company.
Yeah, so that's right. We have 15 people here in Japan, and on a global base, we have, I think it's about 40 lawyers. So we have regional legal departments in China, for example, in Europe and the United States. And of course, so we also rely on their advice and competence for regional aspects. And TDK, the legal department here, is dealing with Japanese matter, ASEAN at the moment, and of course, very global agreements where our customers, for example, they require TDK Corporation headquarters to be the contractual party. And that's what we're taking care of too from here.
Okay. It's interesting. One thing I've noticed in general about the in-house market, I guess you could call it, in Japan is there seems to be a lot of non-Japanese qualified counsel working in senior positions. I mean, is that fair to say? I mean, is that your perception that you tend to get more expatriates running legal teams in Japan than one necessarily would in Germany?
So you mean in-house?
Yeah.
I think definitely this will be changing. So I think a lot of other companies, if I look at the market, they have already more foreign legal personnel, and I think this is also what I can see coming for the future here for TDK.
Okay, and sorry to keep on this point, but why is that? I mean, is that just a historical thing that Japanese companies didn't employ so many lawyers? Is there a reason for this prevalence of foreign qualified lawyers in Japanese businesses?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say this is an answer to the globalization, internationalization. especially if you look at TDK, as I mentioned, is a very global company, if you look at the structure. And I think we also have to reflect this global diversity into the headquarters here in the legal department as well. And I think a lot of other businesses selling or operating on a global basis in Japan, they have the same future perspective on that.
Okay, excellent. Look, I guess everyone knows the TDK brand name. It's a huge manufacturer. But I guess like a lot of manufacturing businesses, you have been changing your focus over recent years. I mean, is that the case? Has there been a strategic shift in how the company positions itself, and does that lead to a shift in the types of work you do as senior counsel?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think one of the most important things is a change from being a mere component manufacturer, which is called monosokuri in Japanese, to a manufacturer of or a provider of solutions, koto-sokuri, where we will work more and more together with partners to provide solutions for our customers in corporations. And of course, this will bring a lot of challenging aspects, because then you're not only the person who's providing the components or IP, so there's one or more people. And of course, this will have a lot more challenging aspects in all areas, including logistics as well, of course, and then manufacturing. And as I mentioned, IP is a very important field here. We have to be quite cautious here. I mean, mixing up together a lot of IP for nice products for our customers.
Yeah, I've often wondered, is this a challenge for GCs like yourself, that you represent a manufacturing business and suddenly you find you're getting involved in data, technology, all sorts of IP questions arising? Do you feel that you have the skills as a GC to do that, or do you have to go back and study some of these areas?
So personally, so I think the TDK legal department, including me, I mean, we have a lot of skills already here, and we are prepared for the future. But nevertheless, what we set up here in-house is a new education program, or also what we can mention is that we allow our younger members to study at the Temple University here in Japan for part-time over 3 years, to acquire more international legal skills, especially in the area of common law here. And also, when I look at our in-house,
is this a program you personally set up then, this education initiative?
Yeah, that's sort of what we just set up. And if you look at the in-house education program, so we have seminars, lectures, and workshops, and we invite people within the TDK legal organization globally, but also, of course, external experts from law firms, and also all kind of expertise we bring in and educate our people in-house for the future here. This is a very important aspect we have to take care of, to be able to support the business in the future in the change to the koto-sokuri business.
And what's the language of instruction on these courses? Is it delivered in English and Japanese?
Yes, this is English here, because we think we are an international company and we have to speak English at a very fluent business and professional level. So this will also support the people, especially the younger people who came in, who have not really that skills at the moment. But so if I look at the whole department, so this is something really we have here, and we want to get better even.
It's a very interesting example of, I guess, a company taking the lead on reforming legal education. I think one other thing about your role that I noticed is you also serve as the GDPR advisor globally for TDK, which must be quite a challenge. Can you tell us something about the work you do in that regard?
Yeah, GDPR, of course, I mean, it's the gold standard in data privacy at the moment globally. And so how did I come to the GDPR? I mean, it's quite some years ago, to data privacy. I think mainly through transactions where people asked me to take care of some data privacy aspects. Okay. And then I grew into this, and then So basically at the moment, so advising GDPR, the IT security committee on a global scale together with one person in Germany. And so it's quite challenging because there's a lot of data privacy regimes that are emerging. It's not only the GDPR, so we have to take care, of course, also of latest developments all over the world. And this requires a lot of skilled local people, which we also see growing at the moment in the organization. And of course, TDK is not a big data provider. We're a manufacturer, but of course, we deal with a lot of customer data, supplier data, and of course, also our employee data. And so also here we have to be very cautious, and we want to set a very high standard on a global scale here.
Okay, interesting. And while we're in the, I guess, vaguely technological sphere here, I mean, legal tech is something that a lot of GCs talk about. Are you doing anything with legal tech internally?
Yeah, that's one of our company's mottos at the moment, digital transformation for the future. And the legal department is taking a leading role here also. So I think already last year we started, it was before Corona, but even it's driven by the Corona crisis that people are more interested in digital solutions. And so we evaluated certain products in different areas. So, and I think if I summarize, so what we introduce right now, we have a pillar which is the establishment of contracts by our internal clients, so mainly in the area of NDAs. So we let them go through an interview process in a tool, and they can create their own NDA if it's just a standard NDA for daily operations, not M&A or anything specific. But this saves time in the legal department, because usually the clients would come to the legal department and ask us to create an MDA template for them or for a specific purpose, and then we would have to ask questions and coming back and again. So we let them do this by themselves. This is one thing. We can even think about other contracts in supply area, I think. And what else we do is contract review. So we will implement 3 tools here. I can also name them. It's LawGeeks, Legal Sifter, and for Japanese contracts, AICon. So that enables our legal department members to electronically review agreements and to find problems, pitfalls, much quicker and easier and more reliably in the future, to establish also a higher standard of review accuracy. And the last thing is we want to introduce on a large scale also, I mean, we're already doing that, electronic digital signature, DocuSign. This is one company you can just name here, which we have in focus. And so this is especially important to support also high-speed turnaround of contracts, and to support the business here to conclude the exit contracts. Yeah.
How common is that in the Japanese market? I mean, just from conversations you've had with other GCs, I mean, is legal tech taking off there? Is it a big thing for GCs?
I would say yes. At the moment, a lot of companies thinking about legal technology, especially now in the Corona crisis. Of course, electronic digital signature is something that's very hot here at the moment. And if you look at the other solutions for contract review, yes, some companies I know do that, but I think it's just a growing field, and TDK is certainly one of the companies that taking a lead here, I think.
Okay, excellent, great. And just very finally, I'd be interested to know whether your approach to working with law firms has changed at all. I mean, again, I guess you're a global business, so you presumably have a panel of global firms that you draw from, but has there been any notable change in the last couple of years in how you go about selecting firms, what you're expecting of them, the demands you make on them? Has that changed?
Yeah. Of course, I mean, we tend to select law firms that fit to certain specific transaction or deals. Of course, we have some law firms that know us and we know them for a long time, which would be a preference. But So from my perspective, I'm also always eager to try new law firms or boutique law firms, which are only slowly growing in Japan, I think. And but in summary, maybe there's not too many changes, I think. Not too many changes.
Okay, great, excellent. And very finally, one final question. Can you review a contract in Japanese?
On myself?
Yes.
I would say I leave this up to my people. So,
but can you technically do it? I mean, presumably your Japanese is pretty good after so many years.
I speak daily, for daily purposes, Japanese, but so it works. So we utilize English as a language for the legal department here to also achieve the goal to be more international here. I wish sometimes we would, or I would do more work in Japanese so that I can improve also my language skills. But if I would review a contract, it would take me ages. I mean, I can do, but it takes me ages.
Okay, look, Kai, thank you very much. Pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you very much for having me here, James.
Thanks.